Well, hey, my pretties. It's Queen of Lions here. Now, today in episode 154 of Shadows and Pretties, I decided to go ahead and review this Nickelodeon movie that came out almost a year ago, and that is called The Loud House Movie. Now, this was distributed by Netflix, and it was released on August 20th, 2021, about 10 days after my birthday. So, it is based on the popular Nickelodeon series that is still airing as of today. So, today in this, I am going to be doing my review on the Loud House movie. So before I begin, I want to say I'm going to be basically spoiling everything about this movie. So, yeah, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I recommend you click off this video right now. Go watch my other videos if you want to. So, anyways, I am going to get started. So, I guess let's begin with this, shall we? So basically, this takes place, sometime 22 years ago, where Rita and Lynn Loud Sr. met on a school crosswalk, immediately became smitten by the moment they laid eyes on each other. So after a few days, they eventually get married, bought their own house, and Rita had, 11 children. Obviously, Lori's first, then Lenny, then Luna, Luann, Lynn, their only son Lincoln, Lucy, Lana and Lola, Lisa, and baby Lily, while the song Life is Better Loud begins to play. So now it just takes place in the present, where Lincoln is teaching Lily how to obtain a breakfast burrito, since their sisters would most likely beat him to it before they were all gone. However, the sisters are going to take one step ahead of him, and after Lincoln successfully lunches the girls out of the house, he and Lily are prepared to eat their breakfast burritos. Unfortunately, the girls eventually get back inside and have a massive brawl over the food, where Lincoln and Lily were holding and hiding under the table. They are successful in obtaining one while the older sisters still fight for theirs. During their scuffle, Rita then stops the fight to inform Lola that she has a pageant recital, when suddenly all the sisters remark on their activities they have to do today. As Rita and Lynn Sr. begin to have a picnic, they're saying that they're not prepared for this. Lincoln tells them that he knows what to do. So after Lincoln gives each of his sisters their respective equipment, the family spends the entire day partaking in numerous activities, like Lori at her golf tournament, Lenny at her fashion show, Luna in her concert, Luann at her comedy performance, Lynn at her soccer match, Lucy's and Mortician's club event, Lola's pageant, Lana at her race, Lisa and her science convention. So eventually at dawn, the Louds eat at Lynn's table, and everyone recognizes the sisters and quickly runs up to them to see them, ensuring the chaos. However, Lincoln gets dragged away from his family, and Scoots, exiting out of the building, accidentally takes Lincoln outside. The door accidentally locks him out. As Lincoln looks through the window, he discovers that his sisters are all beloved by everyone, and he realizes that he has nothing to show, prompting him to express his desire to be in the spotlight for once, so he feels that way he is special as well. Now, the song "Ordinary Me" plays in the in the movie. However, at Clyde's house, Lincoln then bemoans to his best friend that he's always been going to his sister's shadows in an attempt to cheer him up. Clyde eventually offers him some cream puffs he made. So Lincoln begins to cry, realizing that his own friend has a special talent as well as pointing out that he won countless awards for his baking style. So Clyde remarks on his skill in baking simply just runs in the family, to further elaborates that he is once went to France with his grandmother, Gail, and learns that his ancestral grandmothers and were excellent bakers, and their passion for baking passed on to them. So the story immediately enlightens Lincoln's mood, saying that he's got an idea as a result. However, at the Loud House, the family are getting themselves ready for bed, so Lincoln asks his parents where their ancestors came from. So Rita remarks that their ancestors came from Royal Woods, well, mainly Rita's side, but Lynn Sr. remarks that he doesn't know where his family's from. So Lincoln explains that if they find out, they can go there and learn more about their ancestors, into which their sisters like taking into, knowing that it means a vacation. Lisa offers to find out and simply has to do some DNA sample from Lynn Sr. After a ride in the machine, after getting dunked in the water tank and being poked to be tickled, Lynn Sr., in a dazed state, drills some saliva out of his mouth, which Lisa promptly collects, with Lincoln's commenting that she should have just asked him to spit in a cup instead, to which Lisa says it's boring that way. After running the numbers, Lisa concludes that Lynn Sr.'s side of the family is hail from Scotland, much to the kids' satisfaction and their insistence. Of course, Rita and Lynn Sr. agreed to go on vacation to Scotland. Unfortunately, the money jar they used to save on trips is empty, save for 1/4, as Lola spent it all to keep her teeth shining. Not having to give up just yet, Lincoln says that they could still go to Scotland, as they will have to be a little adventurous. So after a hectic road trip that involves riding in the cargo hold of an airplane, parachuting into France, flying in a hot air balloon, and eventually landing into the ocean to hitch a ride in a submarine, Now or Never song plays as the family arrives in Scotland. The family exits the sub to examine in the sights, and Lori decides to call her boyfriend Bobby to deliver the news. As Bobby answers her call in the Great Lakes City, the two attempt to talk to each other. Only seconds into their call, the reception gets distorted, and Lori trying to tell Bobby, I love Scotland, and you're breaking up, I can't hear you. It garbles into some gibberish, so this causes Bobby and Ronnie Ann, who overheard of the entire conversation, believe that Lori just broke up with him and is in love with another guy named Scott. But of course, Bobby decides to do just that, and he just proceeds to head to Scotland personally to see Lori. The Louds get to Scotland in the Scottish town, and they ask by a nearby fisherman where they could find the Loud relatives. So eventually they get there to this one, I guess, mansion or something. But of course, we actually find out later on that 400 years ago, the citizens explained their history. He guides them to the castle where their ancestors once lived. So they arrived and they end up realizing that we're in the castle, and Lincoln discovers the fact that he could become the Duke. So eventually they enter a cave by the waterfall in the courtyard, and eventually there, because their ancestors had a pet dragon. Before they left, their dragon gave birth to a new one, ready to hatch when the Louds arrived. Of course, they eventually have like this little dragon egg that hatches, and they eventually have it as a, as a pet. Eventually, sometime later on in the movie, they get I'm not gonna spoil too much more of it, but I just kind of give out, mainly the most of it, to be completely fair. I mean, there's other songs in this movie that I can definitely point out. One is Duchess I Will Be, is what Loud Castle, that's another song, as well as I'm Gonna Be a Duke. Another song that was, a few songs were added, such as The Way Back Home and Let's Get Lost Together. So basically, this is basically the Louds going over to learn from their ancestors, that it's mainly that they see their ancestors, once lived there. I mean, to be completely fair, the movie of its own self actually did pretty good for what this really was. However, it was going to be released in February of 2020. However, the film was currently not being worked on by Paramount. Of course, the film has been pulled from its schedule in, 2019, and they said they were going to release the movie, and eventually, they kept pushing it back because, some stuff was going on. They wanted to help, basically get everything, make sure the film is perfect in matter of sense. So it was going to be released sometime in April of 2021, but they ended up pushing it back. So, I mean, I could go more of the plot of what the movie basically is about, but yet again, I mean, I don't want to spoil the entire movie, but I just spoiled, a bit of the movie just to kind of give it like a brief description of what it's about in case you guys hadn't seen the movie or who are curious. But the villain of this movie actually was pretty interesting, I'm not going to lie. Like the villain of this movie did somewhat interesting as well as the whole concept of the movie. I mean, the animation is just really flat out amazing. Although I'm gonna respect people's opinions, I understand some people are not crazy on the Loud House movie. I mean, if you don't like the Loud House movie, that's understandable. I respect your opinion on it. As long as you respect my opinion on it, I think it was a pretty good movie. But although I haven't watched it in a while, I think I watched it, I think maybe last few months ago or something. I don't know why I didn't do a review on this before, but I think it was pushed back in my mind for quite a while, so yeah, I mean, the characters did a great job. I think the characters were amazing. I think the acting was mainly good. I really do like the acting. I do like how well made this movie really has a good, it has good going for. Now, to be fair, I found this movie to be awesome. Maybe it could be maybe improved a little bit. I wish there was like maybe something more added to it, maybe more of a backstory on, why their ancestors don't live in the castle, what happened to their past relatives before them, like before Lynn Senior's family or something. I mean, that would have been helpful in a sense. And I mean, I do find that, that this Morrigan person or something, was a pretty cool villain. But yet again, I mean, a lot of movies do tend to have, pretty good plot lines, and this one, it seemed to have a decent plot line. Maybe not perfect, but definitely not terrible either. I'm definitely saying that now. It's definitely not a terrible movie, but not a bad one at that. I guess with that being said, I honestly really like this movie. If you don't like this movie, I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion if you don't like this movie. I understand, not everyone's opinions are going to be the same. If you don't like the movie, that's fine. I respect your opinion. If you like the movie, that's pretty cool. As I'm willing to respect people's opinions. I always am respectful to people's opinions. So, I guess with that being said, with that being the case, I'm going to sit here and say this now. Yeah. This is just my own simple personal opinion. If you happen to disagree with it, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these movies. And as always, what did you guys think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this movie a lot better? Now, mainly I didn't want to go too much into details on the entire movie because I would go through it because I read it from the wiki and all that, but I mean, but it would take very long, and plus, I don't want to spoil the whole entire movie fee in this video, because I mean, I just spoiled just the most basically half of the movie just to give people an idea of what it's about for those who are curious, but that's just it. Anyways, what did you guys think about this movie? Like I said before, feel free to leave me what your thoughts are on this movie in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.